Lil Uzi Vert, and he said send over some Lil Uzi Vert type beat.
All right, Louis is a burger. I don't know who the hell it is. Somebody who's doing it. Someone out there doing it. Just do it. Nike. People are like, oh, what's the best tagline ever in the history of time? Just freaking do it. Nike? No. Nike's just do it. And the best tagline ever? Just freaking do it. You didn't know? The Renaissance Man Show? That's the motto underneath the motto? Just freaking do it. And the more you take the syllable away and go, dat, just freaking dat. When you do one of those, you know what I mean? It's hard to separate yourself sometimes. You know, to be that guy. Just freaking dat. You're not going to go out there and just freaking dat. You start getting, like, people asking questions. They're all asking questions. They're like, why doesn't he just freaking dat? And I'm like, I don't know why he won't dat. He doesn't want to dat. You know, he's not into it. You can't force someone to det. You know what I mean? Like, you can try. Like, we're going to tell you to det. But, like, if you don't want to det, it's going to be a hard thing for you to prove in court, you know? Like, excuse me, sir, tell us, what exactly went down? Well, we asked him to det, and he didn't want to det. And we were like, you should det, because everyone's done it. Don't you want to do what everyone else has done? And the guy was like, not really. I don't really want to det at all, especially when everyone else has done it. You know, like, why would I det when everybody else has done it? Like, that's the time you don't want to det, you know? No, I'm not done it. You know? Like, what are we talking about here? I got a guy over there done it, and then he's got a problem when I want to det, you know? What's your issue with me? The way I say done it? Like, what are we talking about? That's the way it's said. You could det how you want to det, alright? I'm gonna det the way I det. Oh. Ace Ventura! Excuse me! Your balls are showing! Yeah, I can do that guy too. Bumblebee tuna! Excuse me! Do you have any bumblebee tuna? I'm trying to remember lines from that movie now. I haven't seen it in years. That's a good movie. Those Ace Ventura movies are awesome. Oh my goodness. Rainy Day, Wild Stallions. I like this one. You guys know why? This is a Mark Stradamus moment right here. If you guys are new to the show or you haven't seen Back to the Future, Mark, you're friggin' missing out. I have been every single person in history. And you're like, when you go back through time and you start looking at the friggin' real history, it gets weird. You know, like really weird. You know, the time I painted the fresco, you know, you don't want to get involved and start looking back and really digging in to see who really painted the Sistine Chapel. Mark Stradamus will tell you. It was a little guy named Mark Alangelo. You didn't know who Mark Alangelo was? You've been Mark Delled into believing that it was Michelangelo. Also, of course, I went back and I was Leonardo da Vinci. When you're a Leonardo da Vinci situation, That is something that you need to respect. And, we just a couple more we're going to, run through quickly, okay? I circumnavigated the friggin' globe. First one. Yep, Ferdinand Mark-Jellin. I was out there. I'm doing it, LL Cool J style. World tour with the mic in my hand. I got to go with the world with the Mark Jellin situation. They stole that from me too. Gave it to Magellan, freaking hack. And then we move forward a bit. I'm there just penning out the greatest symphonies in history, And they're like, you know what? We got an idea. We should take that. Let's just scribble off his name. We're going to scribble off his freaking name, And I couldn't believe it because I had just finished the fifth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it. Right? And I did it. And it's like, yeah, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart did my thing. Mozart does it. They freaking Mark-Deled you. You think it's Mozart. They white-outed the situation. You go check out the original tablature. Go check it out. Scrape off that friggin' milky substance that they called whiteout. That's where the idea of it came from. You want to know where the name whiteout came from? All the way when they stole the Mozart files. When the Mozart files were stolen and turned into Mozart tablature. The Mozart's family stole all the royalties from the Mozart family. I feel bad because even though I passed on as Back to the Future Mark, I went Back to the Future, come back to somebody else. The family that I was there for and with, they didn't benefit from all the hard work I put in as Mark's art. That was a big deal. It was almost as big a deal when I was just across the way a little bit, just like back then you had to take like by land or by sea, you know what I mean? There were no flights, and it was almost as big a deal when they took all my work as Mark Toven. I'm there, I'm doing my Mark Toven situation for release, I did a Mark Toven, and then they were like, oh, we're going to steal it from Mark Toven, give it to Beethoven. Excuse me. We steal Mark Toven's work and give it to Beethoven? That freaking hack? God almighty. Stole it all. Poor Mark Toven family again. They had it pretty bad that winter. Don't forget about the time. I'm there. It was the winter of 1863. I'm penning it, right? I'm penning it. The Emancipation Proclamation situation. And I'm doing it as Abraham Mark Lincoln. And I got the hat on. I was 7 feet tall. Abraham Mark. And when I'm doing it, I did the 4 score situation, right? I'm like 4 score, and they were all like eating it up, And I said, look, this is a speech that they'll talk about in a couple hundred years. Back to the Future, Mark. Back to the Future, Abraham Mark. For your ears only. And so we did the speech. Abraham Mark. You were Mark-Deled, of course, right? What's Mark-Deled? Mandeled. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. It used to be Mark-Deled, and then now you think it's Mandeled. But you used to remember it as Mark-Deled. You forgot. So bottom line is this, I'm not done. Okay. Like we seriously were just breaking through, So you got the Abraham Mark situation, Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation. It was the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863 with Abraham Mark Lincoln. And I did it. I did the work. I brought together everybody. Slavery, no more. Abraham Mark. Abraham Mark. Emancipation Proclamation. When you're doing an Emancipation Proclamation situation and people are gathering around and, they're partying together. Again, they're becoming the American spirit was there, you know. I didn't know if you realized it, but it was American. It's an American, you know. Like, I feel bad when I did the Amarco Vespucci. That one was bad because I stole America is Amarca. Okay, there is Amarca. They're like, Amarca, go and travel across the water and fall off the shelf on the other end. If there's any land there, report back to us. Amarca, I'm on my freaking way. Right? I did my Amarca situation. Crossed the ocean. You know, it's 4 score. Oh, sorry, that was Abram Mark. But I did it. And then they stole it. You know, they gave you the Mandela situation. Sorry, Mandela. But you guys don't realize that I was also Nelson Mandela. And you know, when you are Mandela and you give the speech of all speeches after 20 years in friggin' jail, and you tell them you can't do this anymore, no more apartheid, we gotta stop it with the hate, bringing together the people. Mandela. That one, we lost people. Brian Stavely, he's calling it Mandela still. I told him, but dude, it's Mandela. You would get more cred, street cred, if you went with the original Gaelic definition and I guess you would say tied to human existence. You know, Mandela. You got to stick with what works, though. I mean, whatever. You want to go out there and push a Mandela situation and get people to, like, you know, say, oh, wait a second, I'm confused now because I remember a Mandela guy. I don't know, Brian, what are we doing? You know? And then you're going to confuse people. I'm just saying, you're going to confuse people when you're going and you're talking about Mandela when he's really, it was Mandela. I was me. I was there doing, I did it. I got my residge somewhere around here. I got my residge. I got a residge of the Mandela situation. Where did I put that residge? You know, I always think about it while we're in the middle of the show. And then as soon as the show's over, like, I'm yelling at Joanne because she's freaking been wheezing the whole show. Filing. That I have a problem with, you know. I have a real problem with Joanne when she does that to us. Fam, friends, we've done it again. Day 1014 in a row of nonsense. This is the moment happening. This is a show about nothing. This is the literal show about nothing. Seinfeld did one, but this one's a little different. Every day we come out here and we just live in the moment and we make something out of nothing. And I cannot wait until we do it again tomorrow. Until then, family and friends, Anna Trejos, Christine, Cog, and Pamela. It's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance, man. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. You got to go away. You got to go away.